Today we are going to be continuing working with clay, the clay that we're making at home with our 3 simple ingredients. And our word of the day is pinch pot. Pinch pot is a simple clay pot which is created by pinching a ball of clay into the proper shape. So we are going to be creating pinch pots and then turning those pinch pots into monsters or creatures. So to get started, I have the recipe for today. It's the same ingredients, but you're gonna want to create a larger batch. So you're gonna need a 1/2 cup water, 1/2 cup salt, and 1 cup flour. I'm not gonna go through the step of making it. If you need those step-by-steps, you can go to my last YouTube video where we made homemade clay self-portraits. But so once you get your clay made, you're going to then divide it into 2 balls. You need one to be about 2/3 and the other will be the other third. And so the 2/3 ball, which is the bigger one, is what we're going to be using to make our pinch pot. So make sure that you get it balled up into a nice ball. And then from there, we're going to practice making our pinch pot. And just like the name, we're gonna be using our thumb and our index finger to pinch the pot. You're gonna start by putting your thumb in the middle, and we're gonna work on then pinching around the side. The goal is that all around, that all the sides will be the same thickness. And for this project, because this is actually gonna end up being the mouth of our creature, we don't want it to be too thin, because if we make it too thin, it's just gonna collapse on itself. So I'm gonna work on pinching around my pot. This right here is about a good thickness, about the width of my finger. If you are younger, like some of my kindergarten friends, you're probably gonna need 2 fingers because your fingers are definitely a lot smaller than mine. So I'm gonna work, I'm actually also gonna cup the clay in my hand, and that's gonna help it keep this nice bowl shape. So then once I get my pinch pot, if your clay is a little too wet, you can actually add some more flour to it, and I'm gonna add some here. And that's one thing you're gonna have to do. You're just gonna have to see how your mixture feels. If it's starting to crack, that means you need to add some more water to it. So I'm gonna just kind of dust some flour here. And then I'm gonna start to position my pinch pot so that that is the mouth. And you can just play with it to get it. Maybe you want your little creature to have its mouth wide open. I kind of want mine to be like that. Wonderful. So now from here, I'm gonna start adding some of his features. So for my creature, I think I want him to have 1 giant eye in the middle. So I'm gonna take a piece of clay. I'm gonna ball it up in a ball again. I'm gonna add some water. Remember, we add water as our glue. Whenever we want to attach 2 pieces of clay, you have to add that water onto it, because that's gonna, whenever it dries, make sure that it doesn't fall off. All right, and then I'm gonna make a smaller circle for the center of the eye. Okay, wonderful. And I want to make a giant tongue coming out of my little creature. So I'm gonna take another piece of clay. I'm gonna ball it up. I'm gonna press it down, and then I'm gonna mold it into the shape that I want. And I kind of want it a little thinner. I'm gonna slice some of that away. A plastic knife is a good tool to have if you have that on hand. Okay, and I'm gonna set him so he's not in the flour. All right, so from here, I'm gonna start adding my features. I'm gonna add a tongue, I'm gonna add some teeth, I might add some ears. You all get to be creative. You could maybe have 3 eyes. You could have some horns. The possibilities are endless. So I want you to use your imagination as you make your creature. So from here, I'm gonna finish up my pinch pot creature. All right, so I have added my tongue, I've added some teeth, and I've added some ears. So from here, to get it to dry, this one's probably gonna take a long time since it's pretty thick if you just set it to dry by itself. So it's probably gonna take that full week sitting by a window for it to dry. If you wanna speed up that process, remember, only do this if you have adult supervision. You can put it on a nonstick tray in your oven at the lowest setting, 170 degrees for 2 hours. This actually, I would say it's gonna be more like 3 hours. Check on it every so often, but with it being so thick, it's gonna take a while for the moisture to evaporate. And then from there, once your creature dries, you are free to add color to it. So the best thing for this clay is acrylic paint. If you don't have it at home, use whatever you have on hand to add some color and personality to your creatures. Again, I can't wait to see what you create. The possibilities are endless.